Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Mr. Smeef's class. And, I check in with Casual Bachelor from time to time. I enjoy his videos and his ladies that he has, that he analyzes. And if you know, me saying ladies like that, if you watch his channel, you know what I'm talking about. But he was analyzing, it's probably about a week ago now, I'm finally getting around to it. He was analyzing this woman on this that you see on the screen here. And I just took a picture of her. But it's like a 5-minute video where she talks about, she's sitting in her car and she's talking about how women are, she's trying to get men to jump on board with these women. And she clearly is going over this feminism stuff. And of course, Casual Bachelor, he, analyzes and, gives his take on it. And if you don't know Casual Bachelor, it is he's in the MGTOW arena. And, red pill guy, definitely down with that. And anyway, so this woman starts talking about that these powerful women are going to, with or without men, that these powerful women, she's like, well, we're going to start our own businesses and corporations and stuff and industry, right? But the way she was talking, and the key phrase was powerful women, that really caught my attention. And then she raised her hand, and you see her hand in the screen right there. And what do you notice? She's got a couple of her nails painted black, one painted red, and she's got a white shirt with a black jacket. Looks like a jacket. So white, black, and red. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those are witch colors and witchcraft colors. People who are into the occult and Satanism. And yes, it's very real. And I'm sure some people that will listen to this video might be involved in it as well. But this woman, 99.999999% chance that she's a witch and practices the occult and witchcraft. Or she wouldn't be painting her nails black, red, and wearing a white shirt. So, what essentially is witchcraft? It's manipulation. It's psychological manipulation. And why are there way more women in witchcraft than men? Although men are in it, and we're going to look at a couple pictures of some men that have been in it, are in it. But why way more women than men? Because women cannot physically manipulate the environment like a man can. They don't have the physical strength. And women are also more emotional and more swayed by the spiritual forces that create witchcraft. Satan. So women get into it more, and it gives them power, right? When they see the results of their witchcraft, and they see men being manipulated and controlled as a result of their witchcraft. Oh man. I can't blame them. They get a charge out of it, man. It's like crack. So they keep doing it. And some of them go way deep into it. I mean, we're talking to the point of blood drinking, animal and human sacrifice. Okay, one of the highest group of witches in LA, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, are the Kardashians. And I think it was Kim Kardashian. I don't think you can find it now, but she allegedly showed a picture of herself with, baby blood, human baby blood on her face. Right? It's a way to keep themselves young. Okay? So, let me read this. This is from the spiritualsatanist.com, I believe. It's definitely spiritualsatanist.com or .org. And he has, or she, I'm not sure, because again, men can be witches too. They're called warlocks or sorcerers, or male witches. But it says, quote, below is my description of each, he means each color, that I use in my own satanic witchcraft. Red, symbolized by the energy of Mars. It represents the element of fire. The color red can also represent anger, rage, blood, desire, lust, passion, and the energy of action. It can also represent leadership or influence. This woman was talking about powerful women. For Satanists, a spell performed with the color red can represent sexual desire, revenge, and aggressive magic. It is also useful as a focus of the will and to remove obstacles. Okay, now I know that red usually is the color they wear red for, to represent bloodletting, right? The soul of the person, and this guy says it in this spiritual Satanist website. He talks about how people drink blood to get the soul of the animal or person of the blood they're drinking. Now the Bible says the same thing. He is absolutely right. And if you don't believe in the Bible, I highly recommend you start looking into it. Okay, I didn't believe in the Bible when I was a young man, but there are secular records and historical records that back up the Bible. They don't really tell you that, but the Most High God in the Bible forbids drinking blood and forbids eating rare meat that has blood still dripping on it. I guess you can eat rare meat as long as the blood has been drained out of it. So no blood eating. So when I found that out, I stopped eating rare steaks. Man, I loved my rare prime rib, or medium rare, but don't do that no more. Haven't done that for a while because I want to follow what God is doing, not what the other guy's doing. Okay, but the essence, your personality is in your blood. And when people drink other people's bloods or other animals' bloods, they take on the essence and soul of that animal or person. Okay, well, let's go on to white, right? We're talking about white, black, and red. What does he say about white? White, symbolized by the energies and influences of the moon. It is represented by the element of air. White can add to security, protection, guidance, to spiritual rituals, touching on the emotions and inner self. For Satanists, white can represent a new beginning, or even transversely, as LaVey recommended, to represent death or a curse. Anton LaVey was a very famous Luciferian Satanist back in the day. All right, and then black, symbolized by the energies and influence of Saturn. Saturn is just another name for Lucifer. It is represented by the element earth. As a color of magic, it can symbolize final endings and death. For Satanists, black is an elemental color that represents the void and the darkness, and for some, Satan. Often useful in curse magic, destructive magic, and bindings, and for absorbing negativity. Okay. To summarize, okay, that's what this spiritual Satanist says. And if you want to learn about Satanism, his website's pretty informative, or hers. Now, I remember when I was in high school and I was in the 10th grade, a senior girl approached me and she was wearing red shoes, black jeans, and a white top. And she tried to get me to get interested into the Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible. Okay, so white, black, and red, and I've heard this from a lot of other reliable sources, that white, black, and red are colors that witches and warlocks wear. And so, look, it could be a coincidence that this woman on the screen is wearing, she looks to be about, what, late 30s? Yeah, just some late 30s regular woman just happened to paint her nails black and her ring finger red, and then wear a white shirt with a black jacket, and get in her car and start talking about powerful women. Okay, and that's the other thing you got to realize about Satanism. They have what is called the law of reversal, which means anything that God creates, they got to reverse it. So God created man to be the powerful one, right? Exude masculine energy. Well, Satanists want to switch that. They want to have women have that, right? They want to reverse anything that God makes. So, feminism is a result of witchcraft. Again, witchcraft at its core is psychological manipulation, manipulating people. Now, Christ told the original churches that he had the disciples create, said, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." What he's telling you is, if you're gonna follow Christ, you got to recognize when witchcraft is being put on you, and you don't want to deal with it. You want to recognize it, shut it down, right? You don't want to live under the spells and psychological manipulations of witches. Now, people in witches' covens can look like anything. They don't have to wear white, black, and red all the time. They could be the nurse in your doctor's office. They could be your son or daughter's elementary school teacher, right? They get introduced to witchcraft in these sororities, in the colleges. So, for getting back to Casual Bachelor and the whole MGTOW and Manosphere and Red Pill thing, I'm just adding a little extra dimension to that mindset. You know, a lot of these women, young men that you encounter that are trying to manipulate and control you, you might want to start thinking that they could possibly be part of a witch's coven or witches. I mean, after all, Satanism is one of the is the biggest growing religion in the United States, right? And you know, let's look at something else here. Let's look at something else. Look at this. Look at this little performance here. Some music video. I'm not even sure who that is. Looks like Katy Perry. But look at the white, the red, and the black. And the checkerboard. I was always told witches, right? The white and the black represent like good magic. White represents good magic or white magic, and black represents black magic. It's all Satanism and witchcraft. There is no good magic. In the end, it might be good for the practitioner for a while, but they will pay for it, right? The Most High God strictly forbids the use of witchcraft. So if you're getting involved in it, please think about getting out of it. But people become addicted to it, right? These women become addicted to being witches. They see power in it, and they do get blessings from their gods, right? Their lesser gods like Lucifer and some of the demons they summon. They get benefits, but there's a price. But they're addicted to it, so they keep doing it. And I think it's widely known that, you know, the entertainment industry is run by Luciferians. And if you want to be a rock star, rap star, you have to do stuff like this. Right? And they're telling you right in front of their face. I mean, if you really look, I'm from LA, and I know people in the entertainment business. And I'm not talking about the local carpenter that builds some of the movie sets, or the teamster that drives around the cameras and stuff. But if you want a good job in the entertainment business, yeah, you can't. You have to be a Luciferian if you want one of those high mucky muck jobs. right? Actor, producer, even an accountant to the stars. Some sort of financial position in the industry. Okay? But, yeah, somebody told me who's lived in LA, he's an old timer, a lot longer than me, so there's about 70,000, this was back in the 70s, there were about 70,000 witches living in LA. So, one of these, I don't want to get too off topic, one of these days I'll do a lesson on that. But let me read this here. This is from Occult World, and it's about a woman named Louise Hebner. Louise Hebner, the official witch of Los Angeles. Louise Hebner made a media splash in the late 1960s and early 1970s with various antics and spells for sexual energy. Hebner, who claimed to be a hereditary witch, meaning her mother was a witch and all that, wrote 2 books and made 1 record, all with a somewhat tongue-in-cheek tone, which portrayed witches as mean, capricious, and orgiastic individuals. Gee, that sounds like the majority of the modern Western woman. They included statements such as the following. Quote, as a witch, I can be a lot meaner than I could have been if I were Jean Dixon. Quote, I always giggle when I'm excited. It's part of being a witch. Have you guys ever had a girl giggle? Oh my gosh, talk about giggling. I was so emotional, and it's cringeworthy when I think about this. I was so emotional over a woman back in the day, and she kept hurting me, and she would giggle after hurting me, and I was so naive. I thought it was because when I would get hurt that she was giggling because that made her realize that I cared about her and I cared about what she thought about me. But no, I realized she was giggling because she enjoyed hurting me. She was getting a charge off manipulating me. And then I find out later that, yeah, I saw all the symbols. That's another thing, young men, look for the symbols that these women have on their clothing, in their jewelry. Learn about those symbols. This woman clearly was involved in witchcraft. I'm referring to the woman that I was, quote, in love with years ago. Oh man, but she did a number on me. It must have been a spell she put on me. There's no other explanation for it. And there were other things about her, maybe I'll get into it another time, that definitely, I realized later that she was a witch. And, it was God that helped me get out of that, from under that spell. And see her for what she really was, which was, a horrible woman. Let's move on. Quote, enchanters need orgies. The orgies will help you generate the electrical and magnetic impulses you will need to cast spells. Again, this woman's name is Louise Hebner. She was considered the official witch of Los Angeles back in the late 60s. Okay, late 60s, that was right when I was being born. But LA was, oh my gosh, full of witchcraft and Satanism at that time. Okay, but let's read on. According to Hebner, her mother knew she was different by the time she was 5. Her grandmother was a fortune teller, and Hebner began practicing fortune telling at age 10 by reading palms. In Los Angeles, Hebner established herself as an astrologer and psychic. Watch out for psychic women, boys. She authored a newspaper column and had her own horoscope radio show from 1965 to 1969. In 1968, Los Angeles County Supervisor Eugene Debs named her, quote, the official witch of Los Angeles, in connection with a folk day happening at Hollywood Bowl. Hebner, dressed in a long silver robe, passed out red candles, there's your red, chalk and garlic, and led a mass ritual to cast a spell over Los Angeles County to raise its romantic and emotional vitality. No wonder my city's so messed up. Wow. And this is no joke. When people, people back at that time when they heard she was the official witch of Los Angeles, everybody's like, that's so cute. That's so cute. It's not cute. It's real. All right? It's real. People are under mass spells. Look at how dumbed down everybody is. Okay? Take this seriously. When Hebner began using, quote, the official witch appellation to promote herself, Los Angeles County attempted to stop her from doing so, stating that the title was intended for Folk Day only. Hebner called a press conference and threatened to dispel Los Angeles County. In the ensuing publicity, the county dropped the matter. Interesting. So they were scared of this woman. Hebner made numerous radio and television appearances around the country. She dressed in black and carried about a pet black beetle, Sandoz. She also kept a rat and a cat. In 1970, she went to Salem, Massachusetts, where she was received by Mayor Samuel Zoll, who gave her a broom inscribed, "May your ride be long and enjoyable." Yikes. Hebner was quoted by the press as stating, oh, by the way, they do this to, they joke around like this and give them brooms and stuff to throw you off the scent. To make it seem like it's no big deal, it's a joke, it's a lark. No, witchcraft is very serious. Hebner was quoted by the press as stating the reason for her visit was to forgive Salem for what they did to those people who were not witches in colonial times. That's a whole lesson, the Salem witches. We'll not deal with that here. Let's continue. Hebner's books are Power Through Witchcraft, Never Strike a Happy Medium. Her record is Moon Magic. She did a record, Moon Magic. Okay, A Witch's Guide to Spells, Charms and Enchantments, Magical Creatures, The Charming and Mystical Powers of Brownies, Elves, Fairies, sorry, Gnomes, Pixies, Sprites, and Demons. Superstitions, a witchy collection of beliefs about love, money, weather, and much more. Okay, money. Witches cast spells for money. Absolutely. Love spells from A to Z. Witchy spells for brewing up romance. Magical candles, enchanted plants, and powerful gems. Their meanings and uses in the wild world of witchcraft. Man, okay, blah, 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 blah. Hebner's husband, they finally mention Hebner's husband. They don't mention his name or anything. Died on March 19, 2001. His name was Mentor. She says Hebner's husband, Mentor. Mentor was an artist who worked on about 250 films. There's your entertainment industry connection. And on the designs of theme parks around the world. Yikes. There you go. So, witches are nothing new to Los Angeles. And they're nothing new all around, right? Don't ever think it's just a big city thing. There are small towns in the Midwest that have witches' covens too, right? So feminism is about, I mean, I think it's safe to say those of us that are woke or red-pilled, right? It's safe to say that this feminism movement is about control of men. It's about power and control. So, yeah, it's connected to witchcraft. Absolutely. Let's look at some other people who wear black, white, and red. Oh, look at this friendly fella here. Look at that uniform. Black, white, and red. Coincidence? No, not a coincidence. The Nazis, if you didn't know, were members of the Thule Society. The Thule Society was an occult group, and they served the god Saturn, going back to the Romans. So you got the Roman Nazi connection. Oh my goodness, right? The Thule Society served the god Saturn. So the Nazis were Saturnist. Saturn is just another name for Lucifer. Yeah. And I also heard, allegedly, that the Nazis were big into sexual rituals, like most high-level witches are. Remember that album, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic? By a very famous group. Yeah. Anyway, so black, white, and red. Look at this character here. Anyway, he looks like he should go to a salami factory somewhere. If you get my drift. Anyway, I got this image off of, one of the images on the website, and this was he's wearing this uniform as a reenactment. He's not. This is like a more modern picture, but that's what the Nazi uniforms were. They were black, white, and red. Oh, and let's take a look at another group of witches and warlocks that wear black, white, and red. Here we go. Oh, look at these handsome fellas. Black, white, and red again. You think that they posed for this picture and didn't care about what the image and the red in the background? No, absolutely. It's all by design. These are Jesuit priests. That mysterious order of the Vatican. And we know what priests are famous for. They should join that other guy at the sausage factory. Anyway. Sorry. If you ever get a chance, read The Secret History of the Jesuits by Edmund Paris. You can probably pick it up pretty cheap on Amazon. I got a copy, and it's talk about, you want to know who's really pulling the strings. These Jesuits, and they do rituals and stuff. They have nothing to do with Christ. They are so anti-Christ, it's crazy. Okay? But here's another black, white, and red. You think they do a little witchcraft in there? A little hanky-panky? Yeah, I think they do. Allegedly. But in this book, The Secret History of the Jesuits, it was written by an ex-Jesuit priest, Edmund Paris. It says that the Jesuits were the ones that set up the Nazis. Yeah. Read it for yourself. And they're all wearing black, white, and red. You think there's a connection there? I think so. Anyway, let's move on. Let's wrap this up by saying that, so if you're out and about, and be careful, young men and old men and middle-aged men, when you're out dating. Look for the signs. If a woman sees herself as powerful and independent, right? Look at her jewelry. She's wearing certain jewelry that has occult symbolisms on them. And they'll just tell you, oh, I found this at a store. It's so cute. Now, she could be naive. And she could be just she could just happen to wear black, white, and red. But I would err on the side of caution and tread carefully. And develop a relationship with the Almighty, the Most High God. Remember, God just means power. Lucifer is a god. He is a power. But he's not the Most High power. Oh, and I wanted to mention, so, get with the Most High God. He can show you how to be aware of these satanic forces that are out there. And I know, Mr. Smith, you're getting too weird for us. We don't. This hocus pocus stuff is scaring me. You're weird. No, I'm not weird. I'm just aware. It's time to wake up. And men, gentlemen, young men, be men of the Most High God. And one other thing, right? Satanists will call themselves pagans. If you don't know, pagan by definition means anybody that worships the creation and not the creator. Okay, there's only one Most High true creator. Right? That's the Almighty Most High God. Everybody, every other being, every other thing, including Lucifer, is the creation. So by definition, that's what a pagan is somebody who worships the created or something created rather than the creator himself. So, this is Mr. Smith. I hope I raised your awareness, unplugged you, and please like and subscribe. And I will have more exciting, interesting, or weird content with the purpose in mind to raise people's awareness. And I will have more content soon. So, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.